Good day, I'm Tamara McHale, and this is your JIS news for Thursday, September 8. Jamaica's fight against crime is to be enhanced with the help of the United States government. It was revealed yesterday that the U.S. Embassy in Kingston will have full-time offices of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives ATF to help with Jamaica's crime problem. U.S. Ambassador Louis Moreno says his government will be using joint law enforcement operations, training and equipment, as well as extraditions to bring down transnational crime.
We have invested, and we will continue to invest, tens of millions of dollars and thousands of man-hours in improving the capability of Jamaica's security forces and judiciary. We must reduce the murder rate, and we must bring criminals to justice.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, meanwhile, says that while government is prepared to work with international partners such as the U.S., the state is fairly advanced in developing its own plan to secure Jamaica. That plan is being prepared by the National Security Council for delivery by October.
Don't expect foreign countries to solve your own crime problem if you don't demonstrate the will to take on the difficult, challenging situations and establish authority of the state over criminals. This administration is prepared to do that. And in the next budget, you will see an allocation, which will be significant but necessary in ensuring that Jamaica once and for all brings the crime monster to heel.
The Prime Minister and U.S. Ambassador were speaking on Wednesday at a forum discussing U.S.-Jamaica bilateral relations. It was staged by the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, CAPRI. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Red Stripe's decision to return its beer production to Jamaica is evidence of the company's confidence in the country's improving macroeconomic environment. On Wednesday, the first shipment of locally brewed Red Stripe was shipped to the United States after a 4-year halt on local production. As he hailed the beer company's move, Mr. Holness said taking the risk on that investment was directly connected to government's commitment to fiscal discipline and macroeconomic stability.
You see how inclusive this is. And you see the connection between good government policy, inspiring business executives to take a risk, and how that can pay off in the expansion of production and growing our economy, creating prosperity for all.
In the last 3 years, Red Stripe has invested $6 billion to improve the efficiency and production capacity of its Spanish Town Road plant. Another 50 Jamaicans are now employed thanks to the investment, which has included partnering with farmers to grow cassava for production, a combined heat and power plant to reduce energy costs, and commissioning of a new machine to produce 12-pack beers. Minister with responsibility for agriculture and fisheries J.C. Hutchinson says government is committed to using the agriculture sector as a catalyst for increased economic growth. This comes after announcement by the Planning Institute of Jamaica that the sector recorded growth of 7% in the first quarter of the 2016-2017 fiscal year. Minister Hutchinson says it is important that major focus continues to be placed on increasing production and productivity in all areas of the sector.
Agriculture is a critical plank of the country's growth agenda. I personally am looking at a growth rate of over 20% in this quarter ending in September. And I am also pushing very hard to see the growth rate going up to 25% by the end of the December quarter over last year.
The minister was addressing stakeholders at a training workshop on farm enterprise management held recently in Montego Bay. The Foreign Affairs Ministry is assuring Jamaicans living in the United Kingdom that its High Commission in London remains available to address their concerns on immigration and other matters. The assurance comes in the wake of yesterday's deportation of 42 Jamaicans from the United Kingdom. Their arrival by way of a charter flight and other matters spurred protest action by a small group of persons outside the Jamaican High Commission in London. In a statement yesterday, the Foreign Affairs Ministry said such flights had been used over the past several years under a 2007 Memorandum of Understanding between the governments of Jamaica and the United Kingdom. It also asserted that the Foreign Affairs Ministry would remain in contact with its national security counterpart and the Jamaican High Commission in London to address any issues which might arise for its attention. Approximately 50 justices of the peace JPs have received specialized training on the principles of restorative justice. The two-day training held this Monday and Tuesday at the Justice Ministry is to prepare JPs to play a critical role in the implementation of restorative justice procedures within the formal justice system. Portfolio Minister Delroy Chuck says that as part of this expanded role, JPs will be required to visit schools and civic society groups using restorative justice as a means of fostering peace.
This is the beginning of what we hope will be a long series of training. I'm hoping that many of you will become trainers. And, you know, JPs are always asking, can we get some assistance, a stipend? And this is one area. If you become trainers, we hope that the trainers can be paid.
Restorative justice focuses on the rehabilitation of offenders through reconciliation with victims and the community at large. The Restorative Justice Bill is currently before the House of Representatives. And finally, Jamaica joins the rest of the world today in commemorating International Literacy Day under the theme, Reading the Past, Writing the Future. In his message to mark the day, Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid says Jamaica has much to celebrate in the area of literacy. Pointing out that the national literacy rate currently stands at 86.7%, he asserts that literacy is the doorway of upward social mobility. While thanking all the educators who have made this possible, he urges stakeholders to continue seeking opportunities to promote the advancement of literacy at all levels.
Literacy is an indispensable foundation that enables youth and adults to engage in learning opportunities at all levels of the learning continuum. The right to literacy is an inherent right to education. Literacy, therefore, is a prerequisite for the development of personal, social, economic, and political empowerment.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.